Hello, everybody.
Afternoon, friends.
Joe here.
Kevin.
We had one of the best episodes of The West Wing last week.
Yeah, it was great. It was my second favorite finale personally, besides the two cathedrals. But I cannot believe we are here at the final season.
Doesn't that blow your mind a little bit, man?
Yeah, actually, it really does. I don't know how many episodes are in season 7, just like I didn't know in any other season.
Sure.
I'm assuming it's in the low 20s.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're kind of on the countdown for the end here of The West Wing, which is a super bummer.
And I never really thought about this show ending. When we started it, we knew we were in for the long haul.
Right. We knew it was like it's going to be a 3-year run.
Yeah.
You have to watch it all.
And to start this last season, I'm glad that we got the episode we got last week. It pretty much being everything that we love about the show. And it did it so well.
Yeah. By the way, sorry, you made me think of this when you brought this up. I apologize. Remember I said that I had a friend that kind of pre-screened comments a little bit to make sure we didn't get hit with any major spoilers?
Yes.
So he let me know this weekend, sometime in season 5, early in season 5, someone said, by the way, the candidates for the last season are going to be Alan Alda and Jimmy Smits. Someone put that freaking comment on YouTube in season 5. I didn't see it, thank God.
Yeah.
Man, that would have made me angry.
Yeah, I hope
that would have been a massive spoiler.
I hope that person stubbed their toe.
Yes. Can you believe that?
That's really crappy.
It is.
Hey, look, this is like we're going in blind as heck for this show, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, this is the last season.
Right.
Don't say anything like that. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Like somebody letting us know who wins the election. Why? Why would you do that?
This has been a 3-year journey for us.
I know, right?
We've avoided spoilers. If you start spoiling stuff now, you suck.
Well, again, we get screeners.
We do.
So the only problem with the spoilers is I don't go on sometimes at all when they're like, hey man, when someone lets me know there are massive spoilers in the YouTube comments, then I can't go read people's YouTube comments. I can't respond to people's YouTube comments or anything because it's like, well, I can't go in there if I'm going to see nothing but spoilers all the way through.
Sure.
I've had the same problem with Buffy.
We've had other shows too, I'm pretty sure.
Small things, but nothing this major. Like
that's a big spoiler. That's huge.
That's
the final season.
Yeah, that's a massive spoiler. Yeah, it would have completely ruined season 6.
Yeah, which was
all the way through.
One of the best seasons.
Yeah, I know. So really glad I didn't see that. Don't do that to people,
please.
All right.
But looking forward to this season. Yeah. I need to see more Vinnick. I need to see more of Santos. And
I think that's going to be our focus. I don't know. We've talked about it, right? Mm-hmm. How do you split time? Do you think between the two campaigns in the White House?
So I think it's going to be similar to what we did see in the final few episodes of season 6, right?
Sure.
Obviously, we had episodes exclusive to Santos and exclusive to the White House. That works, but at the same time, it can get a little jarring, right? You're kind of whipping back and forth. You're like, okay, this week we're with Santos, this week we're in the West Wing. But I think in the episode itself, we will split focus.
Sure. I think so too. And because I was thinking about that this week as well, and I agree with you 100%, because I feel like you're going to have major storylines in the campaigns now, and you want to come back to those. And you don't want to come back to the show and it'd be like, oh, surprise, for this week, we're not even going to address the campaigns. We're going to deal with this other thing in the White House. You have to do White House, right? The show is called The West Wing.
Yes.
You still have to do the White House stuff and vice versa. But I really, I pick on it a lot. Back watching Walking Dead, right? This was a show that would set up a cliffhanger, an interesting story, and you'd tune in the next week, and they wouldn't even address it for a week. They're like, haha, joke's on you, idiot audience. Yeah. We're just not even going to deal with it for an extra week. We're going to focus on this thing that you care about a lot less instead. Now, and I it's one of the reasons people stopped watching the show.
You can use it sparingly,
a little bit, right?
I'm doing Game of Thrones, and in season 4, I won't spoil anything. Sure. There's a situation that happens with Tyrion, and in the next episode we focus on stuff at the wall, and it's one of the biggest episodes, right?
Right. I think it makes more sense on that kind of show because it's such an ensemble show. Yeah. So many characters, so many settings taking place all at once. It makes more sense on that.
But they don't do it often.
Right.
And it's like, if you're going to do that, great. Like I said, don't make it your shtick,
Your whole thing to just screw with your audience.
And I think it worked on this show because, we are establishing who Santos was.
Right.
Same with Vinnick.
Yeah.
We know who they are now.
The
stakes are high.
Yeah, let's not do that, the split anymore. Anyway, this show does things way better than The Walking Dead, obviously. Anyway.
Somebody in the comments is like, no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Walking Dead is way better.
Yeah, way less zombies in West Wing.
Right. Not enough zombies. All right. I want to thank all of you for being here. I'd like to give a special thank you to our super patrons. AB, Actuarial Lurker, Abolish Fullness, Chris, Derek Peterson, MTC93, Jamie Morgan, Jeff, Christy Goverston, NJ, Sudi Gundavarapu, Torgeir Linkstad, Trey Contreras, Where Panda 47, Natasha Norris, and Yannick from Montreal. Thanks so much, guys. Really glad you're here with us.
Yes, we are. And if you're watching us for the first time on YouTube, welcome to our channel.
Hello.
If you mind hitting the like button for us, please leave us a comment down below. No spoilers. And hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we have coming your way.
In our link to our Patreon page in the description below, we're way ahead on every show there. You will have to sync and watch along your own source material due to copyright law. You're just going to see and hear the two of us.
The ticket.
We know the ticket. It's Leo and Santos.
Yeah.
For the Democratic
Leo,
ticket,
man.
yeah.
That's the big shock.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Yeah, at all. Whoa.
Are we really jumping like that?
This has to just be like for the cold open, right?
Look how he's aged, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So in this scene, he is no longer president.
No.
They're going to ask you to come up to the farm for a week, but we should come to you.
You'd love it, sir. Santa Monica's your kind of town.
Abby wants a picture of the baby.
I thought we emailed you one.
Something she could
What?
Hey, Danny.
I'll see what I can dig up.
So they end up together?
Looks like it.
Thank you for the invitation, sir.
How's Columbia?
Not such a bad place to spend some time.
Congressman?
Mr. President,
Ways and Means?
Oh, Bill's in
backbencher.
Congress.
I sit tight for another 32 years. I got a shot at chairman.
Quite a collection of dignitaries. Sorry. The president's here.
And of course they're not going to show us.
Oh,
who it
there's
is.
0%
of course
chance they're going to
not.
show who it is. Yeah.
I think somebody said in season 6 they had no idea who was going to end up getting
Yeah,
it.
the writers didn't even know.
It'd be kind of funny if right here they did.
Right.
Because I don't think we're going to see. I don't
No.
think so.
It would blow the whole show for season 7 if
would.
we did. Yeah.
Okay, cold open.
Okay. Wanted to point out there, CJ is there. She's not in jail or out on the outs with the
That's true.
president. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? With the whole astronaut thing.
And she's with Danny.
And she's with Danny.
We got to see
yeah.
how that happens again. Will's a congressman. You know what I do like, though? We see that Bartlett obviously has some gray. He's aged.
Yeah.
If you look at most presidents when they enter office, like look at it like Obama or
Yeah,
like George
they age
W.
a lot.
Bush, full heads of hair.
Yeah.
They leave just grayed out, you know?
Because they work hard.
Yeah, man.
There's one guy that hasn't changed much how he's looked. Just saying, the ones that work hard age.
Yeah.
The ones that golf all the time. Back on the handhelds here. By the way, Josh is a rock star for taking this little-known congressman to the Democratic nomination.
Is it out yet?
Not yet.
Q&A and Dayton got a little sticky. They wouldn't shut up about the ticket.
About Leo?
Yeah, Congressman was pretty irritated.
I'll pass.
Oh, we saw this in
Man,
the
we're
Wire.
going to be jet-setting in this season, aren't we, for campaigns?
It's like the Wire here.
Yeah.
Griffin Grand, followed by the speech, followed by a quick stop in Bakersville.
So she working for the campaign now?
Let's remember to call him Santos.
The candidate? What did I call?
Santos with an R instead of an A.
Pecan,
I've heard
pecan.
Santos the whole time on the show.
Santos,
Maybe I'm just
yeah.
missing it, yeah.
It's not out yet.
Did I ask?
No, but you wanted to.
I've been at this for a while. I don't need the babysitting.
You most certainly do.
We'll get it when we get it.
We hear anything yet?
Not yet.
This is one poll. Yes, it is a Gallup poll. Yes, the congressman's not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. Everybody should stop worrying about it.
Josh is definitely worried about
Yeah.
it. He's lying.
We head back to Washington, where we have one day at our new headquarters to sit you down with the department heads.
Do you think Bruno's still working for Vinnick on his 50-state strategy?
Probably. I would imagine so. I mean,
Served his country for 12 years in the U.S. Navy.
Marine Corps.
For 12 years in the U.S. Marine Corps.
You don't need Leo at the White House. I want him in the briefings. Make sure he's clear about what our direction is.
Hopefully you two will have some time this afternoon. Get to know each other,
This
maybe
season
lunch.
has a budget.
Cool. It will be out soon, right?
You'll know the second I know.
Man, they don't give him much time, do they? He walked in like 12 seconds. He was on
Give me an
stage.
advance copy of this damn poll before I chew my arm off.
We should have Moscow any minute now.
Thank you.
I'm telling them the military space shuttle, whose existence we flatly denied, will be hurtling up from Vandenberg in about an hour.
Senator Wellers started his own investigation of the leak.
What does he think Congress is going to find out that we won't?
He doesn't think the AG's objective. Hafley's giving us a hard sell on this education plan. He's talking about moving on teacher incentives. Likely as not, Hafley's baiting us, hoping we take the issue away from Santos.
You think we should skip it? No, I think we should call his bluff. Let's try and figure out if Hafley's serious.
Campaign's in town today. We'll give him a heads up.
So do you think? So she leaked it though, right?
Well, I mean, we don't know for sure, but that was certainly the implication.
Yeah.
Oliver Babish.
We don't have to talk yet. What's your day like?
Some people talk about these things with my assistant. I've had the NASA conversation with the FBI 3 times. I've got my spiel down to a brisk 10 minutes.
You get any more than that?
He needs you back in there already. Margaret will call you when I'm done.
Oh, wait.
Oliver Platt, underappreciated character actor.
Amazing.
We need their help with our party unity strategy. We need congressmen lined up with smiles on at every one of our events.
The poll.
Okay.
I'm expecting Vinnick at the start to be up big. Like, that was what they've been setting up.
Dude's juggernaut. So.
Yeah. And plus he had it locked up way earlier.
You control the conversation. If you don't like what they ask, don't accept the premise of the question.
That's my line, you know. You're quoting me. Been rejecting the premises of questions since the Hoover administration.
When was the last time you went to a meeting?
See, what I'd like to talk about is what Matt Santos can do to improve the public schools here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, she's proud.
Yeah.
Good job.
She's in with Babish. Could be a while.
Why?
Apparently, he's got a lot to talk about.
I'm getting a lot of questions about McGarry's health.
Come here a second.
He's got the poll.
9 points.
That's all?
We trail a tiny bit on strong leader, but we're neck and neck on values.
Man! Only 9
Good
points
poll.
down.
Okay.
You heard it from Nancy McNally?
I heard it straight from Kelwick at NASA.
You ever notice his eyebrows?
Kelwick?
Very active.
Active eyebrows.
Who else knew before the story went public? Who at the White House?
You did. CJ, you knew about it.
Yeah. Just her and Toby.
Yeah.
Maybe.
CJ's with Babish.
Right now?
Yeah, she knew too. She was there.
Did you talk to him?
Yeah, if they have a theory, they have to follow
You
it
handed
up.
CJ Craig to the White House counsel?
I did nothing of the kind.
Do you have anything that resembles hard evidence?
I'm not handing them CJ Craig.
Well, he's still a delight.
Yeah.
This is Christmas morning here in Santos, McGarry land.
Well, if he's 9 points down, then the 50-state thing is silly.
I guess so.
I mean, really.
What's this?
That's Leo's approval rating on his own. Don't worry about it. It's not a relevant number. It's not like he's a drag on the ticket.
Is he?
We got plenty of time to pull his numbers up.
So Leo's numbers are bad.
Because I don't think they're going to drop Leo. This is like...
No.
Somebody told me there was a staffer put us 18 points down in the pool. There's nobody in advance named Jackie.
Not anymore, there's not.
Oh my God, you fired him over that?
Well, as long as you got a couple of people here to get the ball rolling, I guess.
That, I think we got. Welcome to the mothership.
Whoa.
Way different
I was
than
gonna say.
New Hampshire.
Somebody find Meredith and tell her we are moving.
80.
Oh, my God. The congressman.
Oh, thank you.
There it is.
It's enough! Back to work!
Angie Worster's our blog master.
Hey, Mr. Santos, we need to get you to Georgetown. Speech to the DNC Women's Caucus.
I got to swing through Virginia. I think we'll catch up with you in Denver.
Good thing I carry a picture.
That travel schedule is so nuts,
Yeah.
man. Hitting 3 or 4 states a day.
Imagine the amount of coffee you would need.
No sleep.
I finally heard back from Wallingford's guy. He can't do the Denver rally. He's going to be in Washington.
Then get someone else from the Colorado congressional delegation.
Get Bob Russell. He's got to be on board now with it.
Santos needs that heft and foreign policy savvy, which he certainly doesn't have himself.
That makes sense for why Leo's there.
She was briefing me because she was in the sessions with NASA and DOD.
You like her?
Nancy McNally trusts her quite a lot.
Do you?
Sure.
You,
Think so.
consult with anyone else before you brief the president?
I had a conversation with Leo McGarry about some of the technical elements that were put in place. I spoke to Toby Ziegler about it, and I had Hutchinson's deputy brief me.
Whoa. That's a bunch of people. Kate Harper didn't have all the information?
No, I'm sure she did.
So let's go back to the earlier question. You trust her?
I don't know. It would be quite a twist if it was Kate, but she was also not in jail.
Yeah, she wrote a book.
Right? Yeah.
Mr. McGarry just got in.
Leo's here?
Now, we did say the president could pardon whoever.
Right, that's true.
So,
When are we at the White House?
You can sit that one out. Give you some time with the guys here.
Sir, can you take a quick look? We've made some changes. These are his clips of about half an hour ago.
Can I grab you for a moment? Sure.
This is also fast.
And then we have a makeup consultant waiting. The base is looking a little orange under the fluorescence.
That's not a deal breaker for a president to look orange.
yeah.
I know you've been meeting the detail in dribs and drabs. I thought it may help to get everybody together.
Oh my God, it's so many people.
Okay. This is all you.
Wow.
So many people.
I feel so safe.
Yeah.
Does Mr. McGarry's clips?
Yeah.
You see the Wizard of Oz cartoon? Matt cowering in front of the big head.
Who's the big head?
Leo,
Leo's the big head. Matt's in a Dorothy costume.
Where's Bartlett?
guy behind the curtain pulling the strings.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
That's like people.
Well, that's
are like-
brutal.
That's like people today. They're like, Hillary Clinton's really the president.
Right, yeah.
9 points is nothing to sneeze at.
I'm not sneezing. I'm ordering champagne.
Shares of values is at 40, and that's workable. Ask people to describe their impressions of Matt Santos in one word, you get
Appealing.
but not in a defend our borders kind of a way. Hold me in your arms and stroke my hair while we gaze at the fire.
This is the kind of comment you really don't want to hear coming out of Kenny's mouth.
Women love him, men want to have a beer with him. We've got to convince people that he's substantial.
I like how Vinnick's in the background so much. He just on the
Yeah.
news feeds. Always let you know that he's there.
Way more of a supporting character
Yeah.
for sure.
Where's Leo?
He's talking with Lorraine about the Medicaid piece. He'll be right in.
Maybe we should wait a second.
What else?
You read the summary?
Yeah, I did. I'm appealing.
You've got the charisma factor. You can't teach that. Now let's just see if we can project some depth.
I could carry around a copy of Proust.
Yeah, there you go.
We're talking 5 conversations with the press pool every day.
5?
Easily. And remember, you control the conversation.
Leo McGarry, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry, a little mix up with some of the Medicaid figures.
Good to have you here.
This isn't the primary anymore. We got to tax center hard.
Arnold Vinnick is a moderate Republican. There's not a lot of center he doesn't have a hold on.
There's been a lot of interest in Mr. McGarry's personal history. Do we want to reevaluate the way we're addressing that?
You tell your story, cry a little, and get on with it.
Might simplify matters.
If I thought it would work, I'd cry all afternoon.
If the congressman's doing 5 Q&As a day, we have to make sure that Mr. McGarry's doing at least 3.
I'm not sure you want to give the press that many shots at you.
What else?
Any chance
Yeah.
Mallory would be willing to bring
He's
the
in
baby on
charge.
the road?
Is it a photogenic baby?
It's his granddaughter.
Hey, not all of them are.
Some babies are ugly. Is your granddaughter ugly?
Yeah.
You worry too much. That's my job.
And you're not worried?
We're only 9 points down.
Mr. McGarry, we need to get a couple of shots of you and the congressman. The congressman's wearing white.
Everything is so micromanaged.
Yeah.
He's not been on this side of it.
He hasn't.
The one under scrutiny.
Yeah.
Well, he's been under scrutiny, but not as a candidate.
Let's see how he handles it. I mean,
Being vetted, yeah.
Want to order lunch?
I've got a meeting.
I'll order lunch, and we'll eat when you get back. You guys are spread a little thin. Probably still a little press secretary business on your plate.
Not really.
Well, so why does Greg Brock of the New York Times appear on your call log an average of 5 times a week in the 6 months before he publishes leak story?
I really have to go now.
Sight for sore eyes.
And you. God, look at this. Well, I'm lunching with Oliver Babish. He has his heart set on ruining my day.
See that?
Yeah, I did.
We're getting some movement from Congress on education.
Probably class size reduction, a little infrastructure money, some version of performance incentives for teachers.
That's right out of the Santos plan.
If he's expressing an interest.
He's expressing an interest because the Vinnick camp told him to. You think we can bring it up in a debate after Jed Bartlett's already moved on it? We'll look like idiots.
That's unfortunate.
Okay, everybody, let's take a breath.
Halfley's extending an olive branch. I'm sure the president is just being polite.
It's not an olive branch. Josh is right.
Yeah.
A new Democratic administration will pass a much more powerful bill.
You people are 9 points down.
That's true, too. If Vinnick wins.
Yeah.
Halfley's playing you.
No, actually, he's screwing you, and for the moment, we are comfortable with that.
He's screwing the party and using this administration to do it.
The president did not take an oath of party. He took an oath of office.
Interesting to see Leo on the other side of this now,
Yeah.
too.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
Are they still not cool?
I think it's still a little cold, a little icy. Yeah. They're way better than they were.
Yeah.
I mean, they're punching each other.
Yeah, I know.
Shuttle launches in a few minutes. You should probably be down there.
Surprised they let you off the trail.
I ducked out with Josh to do a house call, coordinate policy with Toby and CJ. We spoke with CJ and Toby about this education plan Halfley's putting on the table. Maybe you back off, leave it for the new kid.
If you were my chief of staff, what would you tell me to do?
Exactly.
I tell you, when you walk out of here, somebody else has to walk in.
You want to try that again?
Yeah.
Think about the future. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I tell you to get the deal. Yeah.
Matt Santos has the most practical approach to improving teacher quality we've seen in a long time.
The Santos feel he's powerless to affect
Losing it, yeah.
Thanks, folks. It's been a
Okay,
real
come on,
pleasure.
move on.
Yeah.
I accepted the premise of the question, didn't I?
Yep.
You sure did.
I can't get anyone from the Colorado delegation to do the Denver rally.
Congressmen don't stay in D.C. on the weekend. They go home to their districts to make nice with...
It's Bob Russell, right? It's got to be Russell.
Get Wallingford's chief of staff on the phone now.
Leo just inadvertently suggested to the press that the reason the president's moving on his education bill is because the congressman's a generally powerless individual.
The congressman is about to tell the press how excited he is that the White House is making inroads with the Speaker of the House.
The congressman doesn't like that idea very much.
It's one of those close your eyes and think of England moments.
I think Leo and Santos need to get together and to have a beer too.
Yeah, get on the same page.
Yeah.
Started without you.
That's okay.
Greg Brock?
Name sounds familiar.
So you guys spent some time together? He's the guy?
Which guy would that be?
Your fave. Give him the number of times his name appears on your call sheet. Used to be Danny Kincannon, now it's Greg Brock. A crush or an affair.
Oliver, I have a whole lot to do.
It got personal with Danny, right? If he's the new Danny...
We're not doing this.
You talk to him every day. And he published code word classified information.
Yeah, they're coming at her, after her.
So this does not fall into the category of things to which I do not need an answer.
You think the leak came from me?
Can you tell me about the nature of your relationship with Greg Brock?
I've never felt like she was flirting with Greg Brock.
No, but I do think she leaked it.
It's quite possible that she leaked it.
Wallingford's avoiding our events because Vinnick's polling 28 points ahead in his district, and he's not the only one. It's a bunch of the Democrats. New strategy is we don't put members of Congress up on the stage at events because Santos isn't a party hack. He's his own man.
Oh, they're avoiding because he's unpopular in those districts.
Yeah.
Congressman calls this list Leo this within the next 24 hours. We got to do some hand-holding.
I'll call them all. I'll do all the calls.
Josh, you've got another interview.
I told Chuck everybody is still waiting. Come back tomorrow.
Chuck said you'd want this one.
Well, Chuck is wrong.
Oh, no.
Oh.
What else? Yeah, I wonder what she's up to.
Right, that's true. She's out of a job.
Yeah.
She was just working the campaign.
You didn't even ask me. Did you tell Greg Brock of the New York Times of the existence of a classified military space shuttle?
I don't want to know.
You going back there, too?
Vice President's office? Glad you brought that up. I've grown a lot in the last few months. Let me get through this. It's one of the more awkward moments of a lifetime.
I can't do this.
I'm good. You could use a deputy.
Matthew Santos is throwing a ton of numbers at you, hoping you'll be so confused as to miss the fact that his education plan is both impractical and unaffordable.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Will warned him that this would happen.
Yeah, he did.
February 26, Coffee Cake and Candidates, Raleigh, North Carolina. But ask him about the overhead compartment, not about defense.
You called Russell a cowpoke.
Yeah, but I won.
That's it. Yeah, really.
It was my job, Josh.
And if you think I don't miss you every day, I can make a couple of calls.
Thank you for your time.
That sucks, but I get where he's coming from.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I get it. You say, I still miss you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she'll be okay. I think she'll
No, she'll be fine.
She does.
She is capable.
Yeah.
A White House investigation is at best superfluous.
Are you getting tired? Not only will we continue our investigation, we'll make it abundantly clear to the American people that it is among our highest priorities.
The evidence thus far suggests that the leak came from inside the White House. And we are not qualified to investigate ourselves.
We're not?
I don't have subpoena power. Cooperate with the Attorney General's investigation and with Congress.
You have a suspect. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah, she's right here.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me who your suspect is?
No, sir, I'm not.
If it's CJ, he forgives her.
Yeah, he definitely does.
Yeah.
I made a misstep today with the press.
The president's going to pass an education bill because he's powerful and I'm a lot of hot air. Tell them the story they want to hear.
Best strategy is call it old news and move on.
It's not the best strategy. It's not working. I'm spending half my day talking about it.
Yeah.
If you're having second thoughts, there are options.
You trying to quit?
No.
Good.
You want out, you're going to have to drum up another heart attack or something. What happens if you get on the phone with Hammond and Kelly and Zwick? You saw the poll.
That's
America
true.
thinks you're the chaperone and I'm running for prom king. Yes, at the moment you're a liability, but you'd get the hang of it. You're here because you know how to run a country. It's how do we build a 4-year plan when you don't know what kind of Congress you're going to have to work with. I want to spend transition hiring a staff that can execute.
Well, let's start by reframing the question. Forget about a 4-year term. The presidency's 18 months. That's your window.
There's where the experience comes in.
So I'm basically throwing out everything but my first 5 pages.
In the garbage. But
What
we
a
can
team.
do this in phases.
I love
Nice.
this. This
Yeah.
is great.
This was a good conversation.
Later.
And what are they
I
doing?
like seeing their dynamic, and I want to see more of that grow.
Making plans.
Josh is looking 100 years old himself right now, isn't he? His crazy hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, come on, give me more, please, 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 please. That went by way too fast, didn't it?
It did, didn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So like Santos and Leo, they're a good team, man.
They are, and they both understand each other. They're feeling each other out. But I think in this last conversation here, where Josh said, "Leave them alone, let them do their thing," I think feeling each other out for what each other needs is right on track.
Ultimately, yes, you have to leave them alone at some point, right?
Yeah,
they're gonna be like if they do win, they're going to have to be in charge of the country. So, yes, let them get together and do this. You know what I mean?
Really, I feel like Leo's job kind of goes away after the election if they win.
Okay, yeah. But,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
But in the campaign, I think you're right. I think in the campaign, Leo's just as important as Santos.
And he has, like, the most experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no one's going to top Leo on experience.
No. And somebody on Patreon did point out, too, that, like... The leak storyline does last for a while, so I think we're not gonna find out soon.
Sure.
What's gonna happen? But it does seem like it was CJ, and I think that was it 3 episodes ago that we saw the clip or the last scene was her staring at the TV.
Right.
I just assumed this whole time it was her.
The more I think about it and the farther we get, the more it's starting to feel like that could be a misdirect because they're leaning.
Could be.
If it is something that's going to be long gamed out, it would be an odd choice, I feel like, to have been told that it was CJ a couple of episodes ago right up front. Mm-hmm. So I'm starting to think more and more that it's a misdirect. Is it Kate? Is it...
Toby was an option as
well. Is it Toby?
Leo
is it Leo?
Option.
I don't know.
The thing is, okay, so she seemed surprised too that she was a suspect.
Right. It's starting to look more and more like it wasn't CJ, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what's interesting about it too, because I'm kind of landing on that as well. It's like what I this whole time I was like, oh, well, now that her response to that, I'm like, well, I don't know.
The thing is it has to be somebody big because they're making such a big deal out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This can't be a the butler did it kind of situation. This has to be.
Yeah. Unless they introduce some weird aspect where
right, yeah,
this guy was here the whole
time. It's not the cook in the Hunt for Red October.
Yeah.
It's got to be a big character.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
We got to get more information.
Yeah,
they're really playing that one close to the chest.
I think they're going to the rest of the way too.
It still could be her. We don't.
Right.
Know.
It could ultimately be her. They could twist it however they want.
Sure.
This might be another situation where even the writers aren't really sure where they're ultimately going to go with it. You know what I mean?
Which can be fun. I mean, I feel like figuring it out as you go along can be a really creative way to do that. You know what I mean?
It would be funny if it was the president, but it won't be because he could.
It would be funny if it was the president
because he could have just declassified the information by himself.
Yeah. But I'm full on board with that. I find that to be so fascinating, so interesting.
Sure.
Also, there was a great premiere.
Yeah, it was.
We're coming out swinging.
Yep.
Everyone's bringing their A game. I mean, I loved that cold open so much.
I loved it. They didn't let us know much.
No. But it did tell us a lot, though. CJ's back in California with Danny.
Right, with Danny.
Haven't seen Danny in forever. Love that guy.
Toby's teaching at Columbia.
Will's a congressman.
So Kate is
an author.
They didn't really say what Charlie's doing.
No.
But he was there.
I'm willing to bet he's probably with Zoe. We got that little scene between the two of them together. You know what I mean?
We did.
Bet.
Yeah. That wasn't bad at all.
But no, what did Kate write? You know what I mean? Is it a tell-all book?
I don't
is
think
it a Tom Clancy situation?
Well, I don't think she's in good graces if it's a tell-all book. I think it's probably about her time, like in the CIA and stuff that she can write. Yeah, for sure. Or some type of analytical book. But I don't think a tell-all is going to have her at the unveiling of the presidential library.
Regardless, I like that we got the tease.
Sure.
And that it's a little more food for thought. We can start making predictions about how we get there. You know, I like it when a movie or show does show us the ending, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, here's how we get here.
Right.
So
I think sometimes it's gimmicky if there's too much reveal. Like I always hate the TV episodes where it's like, here's this crazy thing happening, and then the credits roll, and then it's like 2 days before or 3 weeks before, and then you get to that point, it's like, oh, all of this wasn't what you thought it was, you know, and it's like it's just a dumb misdirect.
Well, it's done poorly, obviously,
right?
But
this worked for me because it didn't really set up anything too revelatory. I don't even think it set up a misdirect. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it's set up anything.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, very much so.
And Babish is back. Love Babish.
I do too. Oliver Platt, fantastic actor.
And also the Donna scene. I think Donna will eventually, end up on her feet in a good spot.
Yeah, I don't think she's done on the show.
No, not at all.
But I do think. Yeah, man, you were the spokesman that ripped Matt Santos for months, and now you want to go work for Matt Santos. It's a bad look.
And when did Will call that? He did call it.
He called it during the campaign where he had Josh over. He's like, we all are going to end up working together.
That's what it was,
and if you badmouth, he thought Russell was going to win. If you badmouth Russell too much, I can't hire you. So Josh and Will are on this. Josh and Will are on the same page on that, right?
Yeah.
You went to scorched earth. The one thing that Will said not to do.
Mm-hmm. And I can't wait to see Will in this timeline.
I don't know what he's. I guess
he's still working for the vice president.
He's working for Bob, so I'm assuming we'll see Bob some more.
I hope so.
Yeah. We'll catch you in the next one, guys. Thank you.
See ya.